Alright, shalom, shalom. Before I begin this video, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha-Rakah-Kwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, who rule well and teach well, and the sincere salutations to you hopeful elect out there who are pushing this word in sincerity and in faith. May Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha-Rakah-Kwadash watch over you, brothers, man. So this is another installment of the News and Prophecy Series, man. I haven't seen it as yet. I didn't get a chance to go through it or whatnot. So if Spirit has me to just stop, then I'll go ahead and pause it. But I'm gonna go ahead and play the video.
Tonight, with just 2 days to go until the Georgia Senate runoff, both sides trying to fire up their supporters. Dueling rallies across the state this weekend, and the new NBC News exclusive, the first woman to speak out publicly about domestic abuse allegations against Herschel Walker since his campaign began.
He had his hand on my throat and my chest.
In Iran, after months of protests over how women are treated, has the government disbanded the notorious morality police? The announcement giving some hope, while others don't believe it. Two roommates who were in the house when 4 Idaho college students were killed, speaking out now for the first time what they're saying about the friends they lost. Maxed out Americans struggling with a record amount of credit card debt, and that was before the holiday season. How to avoid a crippling financial holiday hangover. And Ukrainian children of war who made it all the way to Carnegie Hall, the Christmas carol written in their home country that you know and love, given new power today.
This is NBC Nightly News with Kate Snow.
Good evening. It has been one of the most high-profile Senate races this year. It's also been the longest. Georgia's election was so close back in November, it had to go to a runoff, which will finally take place on Tuesday. If you thought voters there would be fatigued, look at these lines. The state has seen a record number of early voters. It's unclear how the flurry of allegations against Republican candidate Herschel Walker may have impacted voters. He has been accused of paying for women's abortions, allegations he denies. And allegations of domestic abuse from previous relationships have plagued him as well. They've even been part of attack ads by the other side. But since Walker began his campaign, we have not heard directly from the women who have made accusations until now. Tonight, in an NBC News exclusive, we're hearing from a woman on camera who dated Herschel Walker for years and says he was abusive. Vaughn Hilliard reports from Atlanta.
In just 48 hours, the polls in the nation's final 2022 contest will close.
God don't need a politician. He needs that warriors.
The Georgia Senate runoff heated on the campaign trail today to the very end.
Hello, University of Georgia!
But tonight, a woman who was in a 5-year relationship with Republican Herschel Walker speaking out to NBC News.
I believe the deception now is on the American people, and I have to say what I know. I have to tell the Herschel I know.
Cheryl Parsa first told her story to the Daily Beast last week, alleging the former football star physically attacked her in 2005.
He told me, "You want to see a man? I'll show you a man." And he was pressing his forehead against mine. My head was against the wall. He was speaking with such force that his saliva was all over my face. And he had his hand on my throat and my chest. And then he leaned back to throw a punch. And luckily I was able to avoid that, and the punch landed on the wall instead of me.
NBC News spoke with 3 individuals whom she told of this incident in the past, before he was running for the Senate. Her story, not the first allegation of domestic abuse against the former football star. His ex-wife, Cindy Grossman, spoke out in 2008.
He got a gun, and he put it to my temple.
Put the gun right to your temple? What did he say?
I'm gonna blow your effing brains out.
And just 2 months ago, Walker's son tweeting that his father had previously, quote, threatened to kill us. Walker has previously acknowledged suffering from mental illness during the period of these allegations. He even wrote a book about it, saying he had dissociative identity disorder, a condition in which an individual has various and distinct personalities.
A Texas woman is alleging that you physically attacked her and repeatedly threatened her.
Please stop doing
Would you like
this.
to respond to those allegations?
Walker and his campaign have not responded to Parsa's allegations.
I never thought that I would be in this situation today. Who would have ever thought he would be running for Senate? And I would feel this compelled to come forward. But it was the women. It was for me, because I'd lived in silence for so long, carrying the shame of what I allowed.
And Vaughn's with me now. Vaughn, what impact have these allegations had on Walker's campaign on voters?
Hi! Hi! Good morning!
Kate, in last month's general election, Walker received 38,000 fewer votes than Warnock, which is why he has focused so heavily in his closing pitch on making the case to this historically conservative state that they need a Republican vote in the U.S. Senate. Kate?
All right, thank you, Vaughn. In Iran tonight, there's confusion, some optimism, and a lot of skepticism about possible major changes to women's rights there. After months of deadly protests over strict dress codes, there's word the government may be giving in to calls for more freedom. Raf Sanchez reports.
Tonight, after months of widespread protests, possible cracks in Iran's strict Islamic system. The Attorney General saying at a press conference the feared morality police, who for decades have enforced a severe dress code on the women of Iran, has now been disbanded, and that the parliament is reviewing a law requiring women to wear hijabs or head coverings. His claim has not been officially confirmed by Iran's government, and activists are skeptical, saying the morality police had already been forced off the streets by demonstrators.
The Iranian people managed to shake the regime, and that's why they come up with the idea saying that, okay, we can think about getting rid of morality police.
Women in Tehran tell NBC News that since the protests, they've felt new freedom, able to go with their hair uncovered, largely without interference. The U.S. sanctioned the police last month, and tonight the White House warning the eyes of the world are on Iran. The human rights abuses inflicted by its government must not go without consequence. The morality force has been the target of public anger since the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, who died in their custody. Her death, the spark for 2 months of protests. Iran's government says 200 people have been killed in the demonstrations. Human rights groups say the real figure is more than twice that.
And Raf Sanchez joins me now from London. Raf, how are protesters in Iran reacting to this news?
Kate, they're saying this isn't enough. Posts on social media are calling for 3 days of strikes this week, and many protesters say they won't settle for anything less than the end of the regime. Kate?
Raf Sanchez for us, thank you. Waukesha, Wisconsin, the town just finished marching in its...
Oh, man. And what's crazy about that whole situation is Babylon, right? The influence and the wine of Babylon has spread all across the earth to the point where, see, these other nations, man, these other nations are going to destroy this place. It's gonna happen. It is definitely going to happen, man. And we're gonna see this in our lifetime, man. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Okay? So it's being revealed who the wicked is. It's being revealed. See, because, you go to these different places, Iran and, these different places in the Middle East, and they'll constantly say that, see, you women, you're getting this idea, right? Ultimately from Babylon. Now, they're not saying Babylon, but, you know what I mean, right? It's being laid bare. The atrocities of Esau, right? Verse 13, for I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste, right, through those missiles. Slakia. Verse 14, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen, saying, gather ye together, and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. They see these Ishmaelites, Elamites, right? They have a very concentrated hatred towards you, right? Because ultimately you're going against their whole way of life, right? Let me get that. Oh, Slovakia. Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? So, hey man, these different legislations that they've set up, ultimately the whole world is feeling that, man. Okay? I don't think I've ever read this before. Ezekiel 7 and 25, it says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Woo! Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients. The king shall mourn, and the prince shall be clothed with desolation, and the hands of the people of the land shall be troubled. I will do unto them after their way, and according to their deserts will I judge them, and they shall know that I am the Lord. So yeah, this is what you call. Is this what you want? Right? Did you not want freedom? Right? Basically the liberty to do whatever, sick, ridiculous thing you want to. Now you seeing what's coming from that. All out chaos. Now of course, what these heathen are doing ain't right. Ultimately, right? But if you go out to the east, there are certain things that they do, right, that are okay. Women should be at home. That's fair to say. They shouldn't be out here dressing a certain way and twerking in the street. Okay, that's fair to say. But you see that Babylon juice is strong. You could tell when it showed that little brief segment of the women celebrate. You could tell all of them. All they do is watch TikTok all day. right? They got leggings on and shit. Hey, man, ultimately, and these nations, in their mind, what they're going to say is, man, before we get destroyed, man, we got to destroy Babylon. That's what all the nations are going to join together and say, oh, man, we have to get rid of this place before this place gets rid of us, right? Obadiah 1 and 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? All right, and just like what was mentioned earlier, Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So you being revealed. And best believe they're just saying, okay, we're going to stop this. We're going to stop that. The whole time they have a plan for you, man. They have a plan. They have a plan for you devils. Okay. Which really involves this place being done away with. They looking forward to that. I can't find it right now. I'm going to go ahead and continue.
Annual Christmas parade. Of course, it was 1 year ago that a man drove a car into that crowd, killing 6. Tonight, residents returned, celebrating the lives lost and the town's determination to keep the tradition going. Maura Barrett is there.
Tonight, Waukesha's Christmas parade is back, bigger and stronger than ever. The community turning up in force 1 year after tragedy struck, when a man drove an SUV through the parade, killing 6 people and injuring dozens more. Today, 80 floats line the streets, led by 6 snowflake cutouts in honor of the lives lost. The dancing grannies, who lost some of their own, are back too.
What does it mean to you that you're back here dancing again after being injured?
It means that I have lots of angels surrounding me.
First responders serving as the grand marshals as new additions honor the heroes and the victims. Their families forever bonded together.
We all support each other and we all have a connection.
Sherry and Aaron Sparks lost their 8-year-old son, Jackson, who was marching in the parade with his brother and baseball team.
I've always loved Christmas, but then there's that weight and that, that you're fighting through.
Do you think that the parade coming back will help with that?
I think for a lot of people it's going to be healing.
They're not comfortable going back this year, but credit the community support for those who do want to attend. To ensure safety, the city quadrupled police officer presence and altered the parade route from past years, along with an $800,000 investment in new vehicle barriers.
The most important one is the community feels safe. And that's something we can't put a price tag on.
But tonight, the town's resilience on full display.
Remember what a Christmas parade is. It's bringing everyone together in the joy of Christmas. You kind of think about how terrible it is that, there's been a stain on that, and there shouldn't be.
That joy, palpable amid today's record turnout. This year's theme, Peace on Earth, is felt at every turn. Kate?
All right, Maura, thank you. Coming up, the item...
Peace on earth yet. Peace on earth yet. Look at this place. There's no peace here. This place isn't peaceful. Alright. Ultimately, this place is a wreck, man.
Idaho murder mystery. The roommates of the 4 students killed now speaking out.
Hey, Safi, can you wake up Daddy?
Wake up, bitch. We're back with new details in that Idaho murder mystery where 4 college roommates were killed last month. For the first time, we're hearing from the 2 roommates who were also in the house that night. Steve Patterson reports.
3 weeks later, more questions, few answers, no suspects, as friends remember 4 lives lost.
How truly special I felt to be your friend.
For the first time, we hear from the 2 surviving roommates inside at the time of the stabbings in their own words.
I'm going to be reading 2 different letters, one from Dylan and one from Bethany.
Their letters read by a pastor at a service held this weekend. From Dylan Mortensen.
My life was greatly impacted to have known these 4 beautiful people.
And Bethany Funk.
Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan were truly all one of a kind. They all lit up any room they walked into and were gifts to this world.
Officials say the surviving roommates have been ruled out as potential suspects. Their 4 friends stabbed to death in the early morning hours of November 13th, likely while asleep in their beds. With no suspects or murder weapon, the Moscow Police Department still following leads in the investigation, digging through more than 100 pieces of evidence on top of thousands of calls, tips, and emails, maintaining the fatal stabbings were targeted. The department also focused on dispelling misinformation, saying there is speculation without factual backing, stoking community fears and spreading false information. But in this tight-knit town, frustration is boiling over. The father of one of the 4 victims, Kaylee Gonzalez, is speaking out about the investigation to Fox News.
The lead detective looked me in his eyes. I have no doubt he's working as hard as he can. But somebody isn't communicating. There's nothing being released.
In our interview, he says with a lack of evidence, he's terrified the trail could go cold.
I don't know how you catch a criminal if you don't even know what you're looking for.
Families now fearful they may never find justice. Steve Patterson, NBC News.
Still ahead tonight, what you can do about controlling credit card debt this season, plus the Ukrainian chorus stopping traffic in Grand Central Station the other day, and the story behind their beloved Christmas carol. A state of emergency is in effect after the power went out suddenly in North Carolina last night. It happened in Moore County. That's about 90 miles east of Charlotte. Duke Energy estimates 45,000 got hit by the blackout. Authorities now say there's evidence someone shot and damaged 2 substations. They're calling it a targeted incident, and an investigation is underway. Thousands are being evacuated in Indonesia tonight following a massive volcano eruption. It happened in East Java. You can see the thick clouds of ash and smoke rising from the crater and people rushing to get out of the area. Just last year, 40 people were killed when that same volcano erupted. Now to the credit crush hitting so many families. Credit card debt is at an all-time high, and a perfect storm of holiday shopping, massive inflation, and soaring interest rates are set to make it worse. But there are ways to get out of that hole. Brian.
There are ways. Stop buying shit. Stop buying shit. Right? But Jay don't know what the fuck is going on out here. Excuse my language, but look, man, people very soon, man, they're gonna be fighting for food, man. So all you know, Jake buying toys and shit. That's a thing of the past. Hey, we about to be in 2023, man. We about to be in 2023. And we very well could see this. We very well could see this in the year 2023. People, fighting for just for scraps. Right? Yet the people, and more specifically Jake loved buying bullshit with his credit cards, man. Okay? And so you damn devils, you got, $10,000 credit cards, $50,000, business credit cards, and unlimited cards and all that. So you buying. Jake trying to keep up with you other nations as far as spending, and it's not possible. So what did Jake do? Jake go into debt, you know, trying to basically ball out like the other nations. You trying to buy your way out of the curses. Jake, you a cursed people, man. That's why we need the Lord to come back.
Young reports.
With 3 weeks to go, the holiday rush is well underway. With everything nearly 8% more expensive than last year, shoppers like Sherry Sorrells are paying with plastic to buy gifts this holiday season.
Yeah, I got some things off of Amazon, the foot massager. I got a karaoke machine for one of my daughters, and I got my son a bike.
But with thousands of dollars in debt, the mother of three now faces a serious challenge.
I think it's kind of an out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
She's not the only one. Jamie Feldman was once $20,000 in debt.
Every time you do a minimum payment, the next month is like, it's like you didn't pay anything with the interest and the fees.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm in 15,000.
That's why you don't. If you buy something for $50 with a credit card, you pay that $50 the next day. Do not don't sit here and try to ride it out, because you heard what she said, right? Oh, by the time I pay the minimum payment, right, I owe all this in interest and fee. See, that's how the devil set it up. And then you got this simple ass Jake woman, right? Simple ass end-up saying out of sight, out of mind. And not only are you setting yourself up for failure, you're setting your children up for failure also. Okay, so you got a karaoke machine but no electricity. All right? Lights off in the house. Okay? And you're going to need to use that foot massager, man, when you walking. All right? Your car getting repoed. Okay? Oh, man, you women, man, especially the so-called black woman, man, is not thinking. It's not critically thinking. All right? Buy food. You know? Pay your bills, man. Damn. That's one of the things that we learn, right? From the so-called white man. The so-called white man knows all about this world, man. Okay? And if you ask the so-called white man, well, how do I do right financially? They gonna tell you, hey, if you use a credit card and they give you $8,000 to use on the credit card, don't spend $8,000. Spend $80. And then pay off that $80. As soon as you spend it, at that very moment, you need to have $80 to put on there. All right? These devils, they created this system for them. They didn't create this system for you, Jake. All right?
Feldman posted her stories on TikTok, engaging others in similar positions.
Obviously, yes, there was some mismanagement of money.
Americans are headed into the peak holiday shopping season with record debt as they buy things like gifts or even Christmas trees. But they also face record high interest rates if they miss a payment. Credit card debt has soared 19% in the last year to a record $866 billion, and the average interest rate now nearing 20%. At that rate, making minimum payments on a $1,000 bill would take over 9 years to pay off, racking up about $990 in interest.
I've gotten a lot of emails from the card issuers just stating that the terms have changed, and 9 times out of 10 it's the interest rate that's increasing.
But that hasn't, stopped you from spending the way that you're spending?
No, only because I feel like pressured to, have a good Christmas for my children.
Experts recommend prioritizing 0% balance transfer cards and consolidating your debt.
So if this describes you, no shame. I mean, you have plenty of company, but let's focus on bringing that interest rate down.
There's other strategies too. This Hanukkah, Jamie says she's just focused on spending quality time with her loved ones.
I've been really open and honest about what I can and cannot do, and I think for us this year it's going to be more about experiences than actual gifts.
Because the most memorable gifts don't have to cost anything. Brian Chung, NBC News, New York.
Some good advice when we come back. United in song, the remarkable journey of Ukraine's children's choir, their spot on the world stage, and why this holiday classic means so much to them. There is good news tonight about holiday traditions bringing people together across continents and even through war zones.
That shit is making me sick, man. That shit is making me sick. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that. This place is going to be destroyed, all right? It's going to be very, very soon. This place is through. Okay? Talking about good news. What's the good news, man? What's the good news? The good news is that the Lord is returning. All right? The Lord is returning for the elect of Israel, man. That's the good news. Okay? That this whore, the daughter of Babylon, is going to be finished. And that the elect of Israel is going to be set up, right, as the governing body. It's going to be beautiful, man. It's going to be beautiful. And we're not going to have none of this. Right? All the things that we're seeing, man. This is getting old. Looking at you damn heathens, man. Okay? And I was looking for something in the book of Zechariah. That's beautiful. This wasn't what I was looking for, but through the Spirit, hey, call Allah Yabashim Yashai. Zechariah 7 and 14. But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned. For they laid the pleasant land desolate. Again the word of the Lord, Zechariah 8 and 1. Again the word of the Lord of hosts came to me, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain. Right? The only nation that the Lord loves, right? The children of Israel. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes, saith the Lord of hosts. Thus, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The Lord is going, man. Can you imagine that? The Lord looking with delight, looking at us with delight, man. Because right now, we can't. We're not in those perfect bodies, man. But in the days of us being in the kingdom, man, the Lord is going to look with a smile on his face, so to speak. You know? Verse 7, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country. Woo! Gonna scoop Jacob, all right, in them chariots. And I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And they shall be my people, and I will be their power in truth and in righteousness. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, let your hands be strong. Ye that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets. So this word is supposed to strengthen us up, right? Which were in the day that the foundation of the house of the Lord of hosts was laid, right? You know, the 144,000 alongside Yahushua. You know, that's part of that foundation. Okay, that's why, you know, that's going to be the governing body of the kingdom of heaven. It's going to start off with the 144,000 and the 1/3, you know. That's part of that foundation. Right? It says that the temple might be built. Right? That's the elect, man. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men, every one against his neighbor. You can see that to this day, right? You can see that, hey, Jacob is afflicted. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, saith the Lord of hosts. That's beautiful. For the seed shall be prosperous, right? The seed of Jacob. The vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their dew, and I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things. The remnant of Israel, right? And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. We got to be strong right now. Okay? That's why our elder apostles constantly say, okay, hey, time to man up, time to be a man. All right, in the scriptures it speaks about that. Putting away childish things, roughly paraphrasing. Verse 14. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, as I thought to punish you, when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saith the Lord of hosts, and I repented not. So again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Fear ye not. So the Lord got the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai coming on to a remnant of Israelite men in these last days. That's how the Lord did well, giving us his name, giving us the law, statutes, and commandments. And see, that's not good enough for you niggas, for you 2/3 niggas. That's not good enough. Right? Having knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's not good enough. Right? You need a brand new car. You need, you need all the goodies. Right? Verse 16. It's like it, but that's why Jake buying all this bullshit. If you knew that the Lord was coming back, you wouldn't be buying all this shit. What's the point? All right, verse 16. These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. All right, so that's what we're doing. We're speaking to our neighbor, which is an Israelite. All right, we're telling Jake who he is. All right. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. And love no false oath. For all these things that I hate, saith the Lord. And look at E. E speaks on nothing but false oaths. Right? That's why the Lord hates Esau. Right? He loves the false oaths. That's a false oath. We gonna give women freedom to make their own choice. We're gonna give y'all the freedom. Well, men also. We're gonna give these men the freedom to do whatever. And you know where I'm going with that, right? You know where I'm going with that. You know, they're saying if you want to throw a wig on, here it is. You got a guy. He's 6'8", 270 pounds. And if he wants to, you know, be a cheerleader or something, he can do that. Madness. And I could continue to go on, but through the Spirit, I'm going to go ahead and end the video, man. All the praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ha, Rekakwadash, the water, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. Once again, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well and taught me this truth. And a sincere shalom to you hopeful elect out there. Shalom to the elect of Israel. All right. DTA and a ball. Very, very soon. That's the good news. That's the good news tonight. Okay, and every night. A ball. All right. Shalom.